holding an election during a pandemic poses serious public health risks. And this is especially the case for First Nation, Métis, and Inuit people, those who live in rural, remote, and isolated communities. Indigenous peoples are at greater risk when it comes to COVID-19 due to overcrowded housing, food insecurity, and poverty linked to poor health outcomes. Many Indigenous communities don't have access to physicians or hospitals and are many miles away from urban centers to be treated for serious conditions, which makes them additionally vulnerable.
Given the pandemic, we were drawn to expand the research to help support more communities in this particular time of need, especially when there was pressure being exerted, as Dr. Gabel said, on some communities to hold elections despite public health risks. In addition to supporting elections and votes, we also created a second dimension to the project focused on supporting digital dialogues, which refers to hosting local government and community meetings through technology.
In our research, we want to learn how online voting can contribute to the capacity of Indigenous communities to ratify community-based legislation, and what potential is there for digital technology to enhance or limit community capacity and self-determination in the future.
A huge win for communities and the project would be to see the referendum regulations of the Indian Act and First Nations Elections Act modified to allow communities under those acts to choose the voting methods that are right for them. Giving communities these options they should have, will better enable them to take action in future crises and opt for a voting platform or combination of methods that works for their communities and meets the needs of their citizens.
For many of the Indigenous communities that we have worked with over the years, their hope is that online voting will reduce barriers to participation, give their citizens greater voice, and contribute to sustainable governance structures. And importantly, online voting also presents a safe voting alternative in a pandemic.